In the quiet coastal town of Alder Bay, 18-year-old Raina Drew never believed in love or magic, not after watching her mother lose herself chasing fairy tales. Her world was simple: graduate, move to the city, and never look back. But everything changed the night of the Eclipse Festival, the one night every year when the ocean glowed blue and the locals whispered about old magic stirring beneath the waves. Raina hadn't planned to go. She only went because her friends insisted she capture some photos for her final art project. Still, she couldn't help but notice Kael, the mysterious new boy who had moved into the old cottage by the cliffs. He was quiet and distant, always watching the sea like it held secrets. Raina had been secretly sketching him for weeks, his calm eyes, his gentle hands, the way he always looked like he belonged somewhere else. She never spoke to him, but he lingered in her thoughts more than she wanted to admit. That night at the festival, as lanterns floated over the shore and music filled the air, Raina saw Kael standing alone at the pier, staring into the glowing waves. She hesitated, then walked toward him, pretending to take photos, but something strange happened. A sudden pull, soft but powerful, tugged at her chest. The air thickened, humming with unseen energy. Her vision blurred and she stumbled forward, losing her balance over the edge of the pier. Kael reacted instantly, grabbing her hand and pulling her toward him. The force brought her crashing against his chest, and before either of them could move, their lips met. It wasn't planned. It wasn't gentle. It was a spark, an electric jolt that froze the world around them. The ocean began to glow brighter, the air trembled with silver light, and for one heartbeat, time itself stopped. When the world snapped back, Raina gasped, pulling away in shock. Her heart pounded, and though she was embarrassed, part of her felt something deeper, a warmth spreading through her chest, something both terrifying and wonderful. But then, the sea moved. The waves rose high, glowing silver, forming shapes that almost looked human. Whispers echoed around them, voices like songs carried by the tide. When it all faded, Raina noticed a faint glowing mark on her wrist. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her thoughts were filled with Kael's touch, the kiss, and the way her skin now shimmered faintly under the moonlight. By morning, she realized something was wrong. Water seemed to respond to her. Ripples formed when she touched it, and rain seemed to stop when she willed it to. At first, she was thrilled. The kiss had awakened something inside her, but soon it became frightening. Strange dreams began to haunt her, faces beneath the sea, Kael's eyes glowing blue, and a whisper that repeated her name. Desperate for answers, she found Kael again. This time, he didn't deny what had happened. He confessed that he wasn't entirely human. His mother was one of the Mare, an ancient race of sea guardians who once protected the balance between land and ocean. The kiss under the eclipse had bound Raina to his bloodline and to his magic. But it was never meant to happen. And now something dark had been awakened, an ancient creature known as the Drowned One, a being that fed on sorrow and heartbreak. The more Raina's feelings for Kael grew, the stronger the creature became. Despite the danger, Raina and Kael couldn't stay apart. They began working together to find a way to reverse the bond, searching through old books in the lighthouse library, decoding songs left by the Mare, and uncovering fragments of a prophecy that said, "When love awakens the tide, the sea shall test the heart that binds it." Each moment they spent together pulled them closer. Kael taught Raina how to control her powers, guiding her through the rhythm of the waves, their hands brushing, their laughter echoing over the sound of the sea. She could feel herself falling, not just for his secrets, but for his quiet kindness, the way he looked at her like she was the only real thing in the world. But love came with fear. Raina began seeing visions, the sea swallowing Alder Bay, Kael screaming her name as he disappeared beneath the water, the Drowned One rising from the depths. The prophecy was clear. One heart must break the bond to save them both. On the final night of the summer storm, lightning split the sky as waves crashed against the pier. Kael stood before her, his pendant glowing brighter than ever. The water behind him twisted into dark shapes, ready to consume everything. He told her that the magic had chosen her, and only her, to restore balance. But doing so meant letting him go. Raina's eyes filled with tears as she stepped forward. She kissed him one last time, soft, desperate, and filled with every memory they had made. The ocean exploded in light. The storm calmed, the waves fell silent. And Kael was gone. Only his pendant remained, glowing faintly in her hand. Years later, time passed. Raina's life moved forward, but her heart never truly left Alder Bay. She chased her dreams just as she had promised herself. She moved to the city, studied art, and graduated with honors. Her work, paintings of the sea, earned quiet praise, though no one knew that every shade of blue she painted was inspired by Kael. Every year, she returned to Alder Bay for the Eclipse Festival, the night that had changed her life forever. She told herself it was for memories, for closure, but deep down, she always hoped. On one such night, years later, the moon glowed crimson again. The air felt alive, just like it had that first time. Drawn by instinct, Raina walked down to the same pier, her heart fluttering with something between fear and hope. She leaned close to the water, remembering the boy with the silver eyes, the magic they shared, and the love that ended with a storm. But as she stepped forward, a sudden pull, just like before, tugged at her. She gasped, losing her balance, and then a hand caught hers, strong, familiar, pulling her back into safety. Their lips met, just like years ago, but this time there was no curse, no storm, no pain, only warmth. When she opened her eyes, Kael stood before her, real, alive, and smiling through tears. "The sea gave me back," he whispered softly. It said love was too strong to drown. Raina's heart raced as she cupped his face, disbelief melting into joy. She laughed through her tears and they kissed again, this time not by accident, but out of love, pure and free. The waves shimmered around them in gentle silver light as if the sea itself was blessing their reunion. The curse had become a miracle. From that day on, Raina and Kael stayed together, their love as endless as the tide. The girl who never believed in magic learned that sometimes the heart's truest wishes find their way home, even if it takes years and 1,000 waves to return.